The room buzzed with forced laughter. A haze of cigarette smoke hung in the air, thick and cloying. 4 men sat around the table, their faces grim, voices low and dangerous. I sat very still, my heart thudding against my ribs. My master, oblivious, chuckled at some joke, his hand resting on the table. Just another meeting, he thought. He didn't see the danger. Under the table, something shifted. A low growl, barely audible above the murmur of voices. My fur prickled, sensing danger. It was Rex, my master's old collie. He was never allowed this close. Rex edged closer, his muzzle resting on my knees. His eyes, usually soft and brown, were now hard, fixed on the man opposite my master, the one with the gun. The man with the gun shifted. He was getting ready to use it. I could see it in the way he tensed, the way his hand hovered near his jacket. My master, still oblivious, continued to laugh. He didn't have a chance. Rex growled again, louder this time. The men at the table paused, their conversation faltering. "What was that?" one of them asked, his gaze sweeping the room. But it was too late. Rex had already moved. He shot out from under the table, a blur of fur and teeth. I scrambled back, pressing myself against the wall as chaos erupted around me. Gunfire exploded, the sharp crack echoing through the room. Shouts, curses, the scraping of chairs as the men leapt to their feet. I squeezed my eyes shut, but it was impossible to block out the sounds, the smells, the terror that filled the air. When I dared to open my eyes again, the room was a whirlwind of movement. Rex, unbelievably, had the gun. He stood over the man who had drawn it, the weapon clutched firmly in his teeth, a low growl rumbling in his chest. The other men stood frozen, staring at the scene in disbelief. My master, his face ashen, looked from Rex to the man on the floor and back again. "Rex," he stammered, his voice a strangled whisper. Rex held his ground, his gaze unwavering. The man on the floor, fear etched on his face, slowly raised his hands in surrender. The other men, snapping out of their shot, quickly followed suit. The room was silent except for the heavy panting of a dog who had just saved his master's life. Nobody moved, nobody spoke. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. Finally, my master, his voice trembling, broke the silence. "Good boy, Rex," he whispered, holding out a hand. Rex dropped the gun with a clatter and trotted over to my master, his tail wagging tentatively. He nudged his master's hand, seeking reassurance. My master knelt down and wrapped his arms around Rex, burying his face in his fur. "Good boy," he repeated, his voice choked with emotion. "The hero of the day wasn't a man, but a dog. My dog."